Why alien fleets prefer human repair docks, the heart of humanity's power. HFY Sci-fi Story. The hum of machinery filled the air as Jay Stone worked on the enormous hull of the alien ship in front of him. Sweat trickled down his brow, but he didn't mind the heat. It was part of the job. A repair technician at the Earth Repair Dock facility, Jace had spent years helping to fix ships from every corner of the galaxy. Today the dock buzzed with activity, but there was something different about this particular ship. The vessel was from Ilir, a powerful alien race known for their advanced technology and strict secrecy. Their ships were almost indestructible, but here they were, stranded in Earth's dock, needing repairs. It wasn't the first time, though. Aliens from countless worlds had come to humanity's docks for years, trusting the humans to fix what even their own engineers couldn't. Jace adjusted his gloves and continued his work, examining the ship's outer layers. His mind raced with questions. Why, out of all the technologically advanced races, did aliens prefer human repair facilities? What was so special about Earth's dock that made alien fleets keep returning? Most of the ships coming in for repairs were far more advanced than anything humanity could dream of, yet the aliens always chose Earth. It wasn't just the Ilir fleet. There was the Maurasian cruiser that had docked just last week, the Cernif fighter last month. They all came here, to Earth, and never anywhere else. Jace had heard the rumors. Human repair docks were the best, but why? As Jace leaned closer to inspect the ship's interior wiring, a flicker of light caught his eye. It wasn't a malfunction. It was something more. He paused, narrowing his eyes. The wiring on the alien ship had been tampered with. Someone had made modifications. It wasn't part of the original design. The young technician reached for his tools, curiosity gnawing at him. He had worked on thousands of ships, but none like this. The wiring looked, too, precise. The way the circuits were linked together, almost as if someone had designed it specifically to fit perfectly in place. But that was impossible. Ilir's ships were known for being self-sufficient. They never needed human hands to build their systems. His tools buzzed to life as he worked, cutting into the panels, revealing more hidden wiring. But the deeper he went, the more questions he found. The modifications weren't accidental. They were intentional, and someone wanted this ship fixed by humans. "What is it you're hiding?" Jace muttered under his breath. Suddenly a voice broke through the silence. "You there, Jace?" "We've got a VIP on board." Jace turned to see Zara, his colleague, standing at the door of the workshop. She was the senior tech in the facility, always looking out for Jace's safety, or maybe just trying to keep him from going too far into the unknown. "A VIP?" Jace repeated, wiping his hands on his overalls. "Who?" Zara's face was serious. "The captain of the Ilir fleet. He's been asking for you specifically. I think he knows you've been working on their ship." Jace's heart skipped a beat. He had heard of the captain, a highly influential figure known as General Rylos. The Ilir fleet was one of the most feared in the galaxy, and their presence on Earth was rare. If Rylos had specifically asked for Jace, it could only mean one thing. The repairs on this ship were more important than they let on. He followed Zara out of the workshop, his mind racing. As they walked down the long corridor of the repair facility, Jace couldn't help but feel a sense of awe. The facility was massive, a sprawling complex built to accommodate ships of all sizes, from small fighters to enormous warships. The best in the galaxy came here for repairs. And yet, the more Jace thought about it, the less it made sense. Why were alien fleets so willing to trust Earth's human repair docks over their own highly advanced facilities? They reached the docking bay where the Ilir ship rested. Its smooth metallic surface gleamed under the artificial lights. Standing at the ship's entrance was a tall, imposing figure, General Rylos. He was dressed in the traditional Ilir uniform, his piercing eyes scanning the area with an intensity that made Jace nervous. "Jace Stone," General Rylos said, his voice deep and commanding. "I hear you're the one who's been working on my ship." Jace hesitated but nodded. "Yes, General. I've been handling the repairs." Rylos stepped closer, his eyes never leaving Jace's face. "Your people," he began, "have something that others do not. Something." Jace's confusion must have shown on his face because the general continued. "Your docks. They're more than just repair facilities. There's a power here, something that has made even the greatest fleets come to Earth. No other race can replicate it." Jace swallowed hard. "Power?" he repeated. Rylos gave a small, almost amused smile. "It's more than just fixing ships, Jace. It's something in your technology. Something in your very essence. Do you not see it?" Jace felt a chill run down his spine. He had heard rumors, of course, about how humanity's repairs were better than anyone else's. How Earth's tech was somehow superior. but no one had ever explained it like this before. What did Rillos mean by something in their essence? Before Jace could respond, Rillos turned and gestured to the ship. I need it fixed faster. My fleet is waiting. This technology is too important to delay. Jace nodded, trying to hide the growing unease in his gut. As he walked back to the repair bay, his thoughts swirled. What had Rillos meant? What was this power that humanity's docks possessed? And why did alien fleets trust him so much? He didn't have answers yet. But Jace knew one thing for sure. There was more to this than just fixing ships. Something deeper was at play. Something that could change everything he knew about the galaxy. As the ship's engines hummed to life, Jace couldn't shake the feeling that this was only the beginning. And whatever secret the aliens were hiding, it was only a matter of time before the truth came to light. Jace stood in front of the Aelier ship, the hum of machinery in the background as he stared at the exposed inner workings of the vessel. The repairs were nearly complete, but something still nagged at him. General Rylos had spoken cryptic words that haunted Jace's mind. Your people have something that others do not. But what did that mean? He turned back to the open panel in front of him, focused on the damaged circuitry, yet his mind was elsewhere. The words from Rylos echoed in his thoughts. There was something unique about the way humanity's repair docks worked, something hidden in plain sight. But what? As Jace worked on the final components of the ship's engine system, he began to notice more anomalies. The wiring, unlike any he had seen before, was precisely aligned. The components didn't just fit, they seemed to merge, as if the technology had been crafted to adapt to this very facility. The designs didn't look like they came from Iller or any other alien species Jace had encountered. They were human. Could it be that humanity had unlocked a technology that no one else knew about? He was no scientist, but Jace had spent years repairing advanced alien technology. Something about the way these ships were built and the way their systems seemed to come to life under human hands didn't sit right. He had heard rumors about human tech being different, but he had always assumed it was just the skill of the technicians, the way they could see things others couldn't. But this was more, much more. As Jace worked, Zara entered the repair bay carrying a datapad in her hand. Her eyes were serious. Hey, Jace, you've been at this for hours. You need a break. Jace barely acknowledged her. I can't stop now. There's something here, Zara. Something wrong. Zara frowned and leaned in closer. What do you mean, wrong? The ship's almost ready to go. You've fixed everything. Jace paused, pulling away from the console to look her in the eye. Have you ever wondered why all these alien fleets trust human repair docks? Why they prefer Earth to any other facility, even with their advanced tech? Zara's brow furrowed. I've always assumed it's because we're good at what we do. Humans are resourceful. Jace shook his head. It's more than that. Look at this. He gestured to the exposed systems in front of him. This isn't just repair work. These wires, this technology, it's too perfect. It fits together in a way that doesn't make sense. It's like it was designed for humans to repair it. Designed to be repaired by us. Zara raised an eyebrow. So you think someone's been tampering with the ships? I don't know, Jace muttered. But it's possible. What if the alien fleets aren't just coming here because of our skills? What if they're coming here because we have something they need? Something no one else can replicate? Zara looked at him with concern. You're thinking too much, Jace. This is just a repair job. You're overanalyzing. Jace didn't respond. He turned back to the ship, his mind still racing. Something was off. Something about Earth's repair docks was more than just skilled workers and advanced tools. He had to find out what it was. Later that night, Jace couldn't sleep. His mind kept turning over the same question. Why? Why did alien fleets trust Earth's repairs more than any other? Why did they come to humans? What was the hidden truth behind these docks? The next day, Jace decided to investigate further. He knew he wouldn't get the answers by simply repairing ships. He needed to see the bigger picture. So he ventured into the restricted sections of the repair facility. He had been here many times, but the restricted areas were off-limits to most employees. Only high-ranking staff and top engineers were allowed in. But Jace was determined. The doors to these areas had always been locked tight, but Jace had spent years learning how to bypass security systems. It wasn't hard, especially when you knew the right combination. The door slid open with a soft hiss. Jace stepped inside, heart pounding. The room before him was filled with strange machinery, advanced equipment, and data consoles that were far beyond anything he had ever seen in the public areas of the dock. He walked deeper into the room, scanning everything with a mixture of awe and anxiety. There, at the center of the room, was a large, secured chamber. It seemed to hum with energy, but it wasn't the typical hum of a repair dock. No, this was different. This was something alive, something powerful. Jace carefully approached the chamber and noticed an inscription etched into the side. The words were in an alien language he didn't recognize, but the symbols seemed oddly familiar. Jace hesitated, then swiped his hand across the console in front of the chamber. The screen flickered to life, revealing a blueprint of the chamber's contents, a highly advanced energy core, one that was completely out of place in a facility designed for repairs. But it wasn't just an energy source. According to the blueprint, this core was a conduit, a tool that could be used to enhance ships, repair them in ways no other race could. It clicked in Jace's mind. The reason alien fleets came to Earth wasn't just about the skill of the humans. It was about this. This energy core, hidden deep within the docks, was the true source of the galaxy's fascination with human repair technology. It wasn't a simple power source, it was a bridge between human technology and alien fleets, and it was this conduit that made human docks the most sought after in the galaxy. Jace's heart raced. He had stumbled upon something massive, something that could change everything he knew about human power in the galaxy. This technology wasn't just the result of human ingenuity, it was something older. Something that had been discovered long before humanity set foot in the stars. The door behind him suddenly slid open, and Jace spun around, startled. Zara stepped into the room, her face serious. She must have followed him. "Jace, you shouldn't be here," Zara said softly, her voice filled with a mix of concern and authority. Jace swallowed hard. "I had to know. I had to find out what was really going on." Zara nodded, stepping closer. "You're right. There's something about the human docks, something the aliens know and we've only just begun to understand. But we have to be careful. There are forces at work here that we don't fully comprehend." Jace's mind raced. The mystery had deepened, and he now knew that humanity's repair docks held the key to a power that not even the aliens fully understood. And it was up to him to uncover the rest of the truth. The next few days felt different for Jace. The weight of his discovery hung over him like a cloud. The hidden energy core, the way alien fleets trusted human docks. He knew now that humanity was caught in something far bigger than a simple repair job. Something was brewing in the shadows of the galaxy, and it had everything to do with Earth's mysterious role in the larger cosmic order. Zara was the first to approach him after his discovery. They had both been quiet, working on repairs as usual, but Jace could sense the tension. She knew that things were different now. She had seen the look in his eyes when he found the core. Something had shifted. They couldn't just go back to fixing ships as if nothing had happened. "You've been quiet," Zara said, her voice low as she leaned against a workbench. "What's on your mind?" Jace didn't look up from the ship he was repairing. "I can't shake it, Zara. The dock, it's not just a repair facility. I think it's more than that. That core I found, it's not just technology, it's a bridge. A connection between us and the rest of the galaxy." Zara crossed her arms, her face filled with concern. "What do you mean a bridge?" "A connection to something greater," Jace explained, his voice a whisper. "That core, it's not just for repairing ships, it enhances them. It repairs them in ways no one else can. And the alien fleets? They come here because of that. They need it. They want it." Zara's eyes widened.
"You're saying they're using us?"
Jace nodded. "Not just using us. They're depending on us. Earth holds the key to something they can't replicate. Something that gives them an edge in this endless war between the factions. That's why they keep coming back. And that's why no one else knows about it. But we don't even know what it is, Jace," Zara said, her voice trembling. "What if we're in over our heads? What if we're playing a game we don't understand?" Jace didn't respond right away. He was thinking about all the alien races that had docked at Earth's facility, each one more powerful than the last. The Morasian, the Cernith, the Illyr. All of them had come for repairs, and all of them had been drawn here for reasons Jace was only beginning to comprehend. It wasn't just about fixing ships. It was about power, and it was a power that humanity held, whether they realized it or not. The following day, Jace's suspicions grew even darker. He was standing in the docking bay when a high-ranking official from the Morasian fleet approached him. The Morasian were a fierce species, known for their military strength and brutal tactics. Their ships were some of the most advanced in the galaxy, yet here they were, needing human help. "Jace Stone," the official said, his voice harsh and commanding. "We've received reports that the repairs on our cruiser are being delayed." Jace blinked in surprise. He hadn't expected to see someone from the Morasian fleet in person. "I'm sorry, sir. We're doing everything we can. The damage is extensive, but we'll have it ready soon." The official's eyes narrowed. "You don't understand, technician. This ship is important. The war we are fighting cannot be lost. We depend on your repairs. Your docks have something we cannot afford to lose. Jace swallowed hard, trying to remain calm. I understand, sir, but rest assured your ship will be operational soon. The official gave a sharp nod and turned to leave, but not before muttering, You have no idea what's at stake here. Jace watched the Morasian official walk away, feeling a cold sweat form on his back. What had the official meant? What was at stake? Why was this so much bigger than just repairs? It wasn't long before Jace discovered that the Morasian fleet wasn't the only one interested in Earth's docks. Word had spread across the galaxy, and other factions were beginning to take notice. Rumors of Earth's repair technology were no longer whispered in secret. They were being openly discussed in galactic meetings, and the political tensions between the factions were growing. The Cerneth had made a subtle move by sending more of their ships to Earth for repairs, while the Illyr had begun to shift their forces, seemingly positioning themselves closer to Earth's borders. Jace wasn't sure how, but it was clear that the discovery of humanity's technology had set off a chain reaction. Zara had warned him not to get involved, but Jace couldn't help himself. He had to know more. If Earth was sitting on the key to galactic power, humanity needed to understand what was truly happening before it was too late. That evening, Jace found himself at the facility's data archives, poring over logs of alien ship repairs. As he dug through records, he stumbled upon a strange pattern. Nearly every ship that had docked at Earth had a similar issue, a core malfunction. But it wasn't just any malfunction. The problem lay within the ship's energy sources, their primary power cores, the very same type of power that Jace had seen in the secret chamber. The more he investigated, the more it became clear. These malfunctions weren't accidental. Someone was sabotaging the ships. Someone was intentionally weakening their power sources, forcing the alien fleets to come to Earth for repairs. But why? And who was behind it? Jace's fingers hovered over the datapad as a realization hit him. The core, the energy conduit that humanity had discovered. It wasn't just a source of repair. It was a key. A key to something much larger than any one faction or ship. It was the center of a galactic game, and Jace had just become a player. He quickly shut down the datapad, his heart racing. He had to tell Zara. He couldn't do this alone. The stakes were too high. But as Jace made his way to find her, he was intercepted. Two figures stepped out of the shadows, blocking his path. You've been looking into things you shouldn't, one of them said, their voice cold. Jace froze. These weren't ordinary workers. These were agents, people from the highest echelons of the galaxy's political power. Jace had seen them before, on Morasian ships, on Cerneth stations. They were the ones who dealt with matters that others didn't want to understand. What do you want? Jace demanded. The other agent stepped forward, his expression unreadable. You've uncovered something important, and we can't let you take it any further. Jace's blood ran cold. I'm not afraid of you. You should be, the agent replied. We don't play by your rules, Jace, and you're about to learn that the hard way. Jace's heart raced as the two agents stood in front of him. His mind was racing too. The danger was real now. The agents weren't just from any alien race. They were elite operatives, the kind who didn't take kindly to people uncovering things they weren't supposed to know. What do you want from me? Jace demanded, his voice firm, though his hands were shaking. The agent who had spoken earlier gave him a cold smile. It's not what we want from you, Jace. It's what you can give us. Jace clenched his fists. I don't have anything to give. I'm just a repair technician. You're more than that, the second agent said, his voice low and menacing. You've uncovered something powerful, something that could change everything. You've tapped into the heart of what humanity's repair docks really are, something more than just a place to fix ships. Jace took a step back. He had always known the docks were special, but now he understood just how special. What he had found wasn't just technology. It was potential, a power that could shift the balance of the entire galaxy. The first agent stepped closer, his eyes locking onto Jace's. We need you to keep quiet about what you've found. No one can know about the energy core. Not the Illyr, not the Morasian, not even the Cerneth, and especially not Earth. Jace's stomach twisted. You want me to keep quiet about it, after everything I've learned? Everything you've learned is dangerous, the agent said, his voice like ice. The core, the repair docks, everything you're trying to understand could destroy entire fleets. Do you think the galaxy would just stand by if they knew humanity had this kind of power? You'd be torn apart. Every faction would come for you. For Earth. Jace could feel the weight of the threat. They weren't bluffing. He could already hear the whispers of the galactic powers, how they were all desperate to control Earth's docks. They wanted the secret of humanity's repair technology for themselves, to enhance their own fleets. It wasn't just about repairing ships anymore. It was about gaining control over the key to winning the galactic war. But Jace wasn't the kind of person who could keep quiet. He had always believed in truth, in sharing knowledge. He wasn't going to let humanity be manipulated by these agents. "I won't stay silent," Jace said, his voice steady. "I can't. People have the right to know what's happening." The second agent's face twisted in annoyance. "You don't understand, Jace. This isn't just about you. It's about the survival of your entire planet. The moment the galaxy learns about the core, every warship from every faction will come to Earth. You'll be caught in the middle of an endless struggle for control, and Earth won't survive it." Jace stared at them, his thoughts racing. He had to protect humanity, but how? The truth needed to come out, but he couldn't just shout it from the rooftops. There had to be another way to use the power humanity had found without destroying everything. A thought suddenly struck him. The docks weren't just for repairs. They were more than that. They were neutral ground. Jace had seen the way the alien ships had arrived, many of them from warring factions, but they had all docked here, on Earth, with no violence. The docks were the one place in the galaxy where everyone could come together, even for just a short time, to fix their ships. "What if we use the core as a bargaining chip?" Jace asked, his voice gaining strength. "What if we use it to force peace? Not for war, for diplomacy. If humanity has the power, we can make sure no one uses it for destruction." The agents exchanged a glance. It was clear they hadn't expected this response. "Diplomacy?" the first agent scoffed. "You think the galaxy will listen to you? The factions are already on the edge of war." "They won't listen to a human. They'll listen if we have leverage," Jace replied, his eyes locked on the agents. "We control the one thing no one else has. If we make sure the core is only used for peace, the galaxy will have no choice but to follow our lead. We can force them to work together, or we'll shut it all down." The second agent laughed bitterly. "And what makes you think the galaxy will listen to humans?" "You're not a diplomat. You're a repair technician." Jace's expression hardened. "Maybe I'm not a diplomat, but I've seen what the aliens think of us. They trust us to fix their ships, and they depend on us to keep them running. If we can use that trust, we might be able to change the game. Not for war, not for destruction, but for peace." The agents exchanged another glance, their faces unreadable. After a long pause, the first agent stepped forward, his voice dark. "You're playing a dangerous game, Jace, and if you fail, it won't just be you who suffers. It will be Earth. It will be everyone." Jace took a deep breath, feeling the weight of the decision, but deep down he knew he was right. Humanity had the chance to change the galaxy for the better, but it wouldn't be easy. He couldn't do it alone. He needed allies. He needed to bring Earth's power to the negotiating table and make sure it was used for good. "I'll take that risk," Jace said firmly. "I believe humanity can make a difference." The next few days were a blur. Jace began contacting the highest levels of Earth's government, the people who controlled the repair docks, to share what he had learned. He knew they needed to be prepared for the storm that was coming. The galaxy wasn't going to sit by and let Earth hold such power without a fight. But Jace didn't just contact Earth. He also reached out to alien factions, quietly, discreetly, to make sure they understood the stakes. The core wasn't just Earth's weapon. It was their opportunity to change the way the galaxy worked, to force peace where there had been only war. He knew it was a long shot, but it was the only chance humanity had. The agents had warned him. If the factions didn't listen, the core would be destroyed, and Earth would be drawn into a war unlike anything it had ever seen. But Jace was determined. If they wanted peace, they would have to play by humanity's rules.
And if they didn't, Jace would be ready to shut it all down.